You know that thing where you see someone yawn and suddenly you're yawning too? Yeah, it's like your brain just said, oh, we're doing that now? Cool, I'm in. Doesn't matter if you're tired or not. Doesn't matter if it's a baby, a dog, or even a cartoon character yawning. Your jaw's just like, let's stretch, baby. But why? Why do we yawn? And why the heck is it contagious? Okay, let's back up a bit. First, what even is a yawn? Well, biologically, a yawn is a big old inhale. Your mouth opens wide. You suck in air like you're trying to vacuum the atmosphere. Then you exhale slowly. Sometimes your eyes water. Sometimes your body stretches. And sometimes you make that weird noise like a dying seal. Totally normal. Probably. Now, for the longest time, people thought yawning was just your body's way of saying, hey, buddy, I'm bored or sleepy. Let's shut down. But science, being science, said, hold up, we can overcomplicate that. One theory? Oxygen. Back in the day, researchers thought yawning helped bring more oxygen to the brain and get rid of excess carbon dioxide. Sounds logical, right? You're tired. Your brain's a little foggy, so you take a deep breath. Boom, fresh air delivery. But studies later showed that oxygen levels don't really change that much when you yawn. So, nope. Nice try, science. Another theory? Brain cooling. Yeah, apparently your brain is like a laptop. It overheats when it's doing too much, like staying awake during a 3-hour Zoom meeting. So yawning might help cool it down. When you open your mouth wide, you stretch your jaw, increase blood flow, bring in cooler air, and maybe, just maybe, it lowers your brain's temperature by a few degrees, which is hilarious because that means every time you yawn, it's like your brain is sticking its head out the window for some fresh air. Ah, much better. Okay, but let's talk about the weirdest part, the contagious bit. Why do we yawn when other people yawn? What kind of psychic nonsense is this? Turns out it's not psychic, it's just social. Humans are social creatures. Even the introverts who claim they hate everyone still instinctively sync up with the people around them. It's part of how we survive. Empathy, group behavior, mirroring. So when someone yawns, your brain sees it and says, that person might be tired or stressed. Let's relate to them emotionally by copying their behavior. Basically, your brain's trying to be polite or needy. It's hard to tell sometimes. Contagious yawning is even seen in animals, especially social animals like chimpanzees and dogs. If you yawn near your dog, it might yawn back at you, which is either adorable or slightly creepy, depending on how you feel about dogs mimicking your every move. But here's the kicker. Contagious yawning is linked to empathy. Yeah, empathy. That soft, squishy feeling people are supposed to have for one another. Studies show that the more empathetic you are, the more likely you are to catch someone's yawn. It's like emotional Wi-Fi. You pick up on someone else's state, and your brain's like, ah yes, I too am suddenly in need of a yawn. Or you're just trying really hard not to give in. Interestingly, people with conditions like autism or schizophrenia, where empathy can work differently, are less likely to experience contagious yawning, which adds another piece to this weird neurological puzzle. Now you might be wondering, if yawning is all about empathy, how come I yawn when I see a cartoon dog yawn on TV? Good question. Turns out, your brain doesn't need the yawner to be real. Just the idea of a yawn is enough. That's how lazy and suggestible your brain is. It's like, is this a social cue? Are we doing the yawn thing again? Okay, cool. I'll grab my yawn. Even just reading the word yawn can trigger a yawn, which, by the way, I've said at least 20 times in this video, so if you haven't yawned yet, congratulations. You're either a robot, and look, there's still a lot we don't know about yawning. Like, why do fetuses yawn in the womb? What's the evolutionary advantage? Why do we sometimes yawn when we're anxious or nervous? That's right, yawning isn't just for sleepiness and boredom. People yawn before skydiving, athletes yawn before competitions, students yawn before exams. Is it stress? Is it your brain prepping for danger? Is it your body's way of saying, this is too much? Let's pretend we're tired so we can leave? Nobody really knows. But it's probably all of the above, because biology is messy and humans are weird. So, to sum it up, yawning might help cool your brain, regulate arousal levels, signal empathy, and make your jaw feel like it just did a full workout without warning. And the reason it's contagious, your brain is basically a copycat. Someone yawns and yours is like, oh yeah, I can do that too. Watch this. Also, fun fact, trying not to yawn while talking about yawning is pretty much a losing battle. I yawned writing this. You probably yawned listening to this. If you didn't, you might be a robot or just dangerously overcaffeinated. And yeah, science Scientists are still scratching their heads about yawning. Even with all the brain scans and research grants, we still don't have all the answers. But hey, now you've got a weird new fact to throw out at parties. Just yawn mid-conversation and go, "It's empathy, Karen." Look it up. Anyway, if this video made you yawn or laugh, or at least kept you from doom scrolling for 5 minutes, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who always yawns like they're auditioning for a Shakespeare play. Seriously, it helps more than you think. And who knows? Maybe we'll start a yawning epidemic together. All right, I'm out. Go yawn responsibly. Catch you in the next one or not. I'm not your mom.